996, 997, 98, 99, 1,000. Now, I just hit 1,000 sit-ups. Can you believe that? But are abs really made with exercise or combined in the kitchen? Let's find out. Okay, so the big question is, are abs made in the kitchen? So today we're going to bring an expert, Dr. Michelle Perlman, and she is an expert on nutrition. She's going to go ahead and explain to you the real reasoning why some people do not have abs, and they are in the gym day by day by day, working out, doing those abdominals, etc., but nothing is popping out. What is going on? So with that, I'm going to bring Dr. Michelle Perlman to explain to us, are abs really made in the kitchen?
Okay, so let's talk food. So Omar, let's pretend like you wake up, you're ready for breakfast, and you grab some oats. So pour some oats into a bowl on the portion that you would normally have.
Okay, so what I would really do when I wake up in the morning, all right guys, you're gonna love this. This is what I normally do, a little bit of my savage way of being. So I'm gonna open this up and I'm just gonna grab the bowl. I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. It'll get me filled up, and that's what I do. It's called the eyeball. But again, it's not for everyone. But let's see what we come up with.
Okay, so if you were to have poured that much into this bowl, if you had to estimate here, how many servings do you think is in here?
2.5 servings, I would probably estimate of steel oats.
Okay, should we put a wager on it?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
So these are the same bowls here, so we're going to weigh the bowl and then measure it out. Okay, so a serving on here is 40 grams or 1/4 cup. So let's weigh it out here. That's 2 servings.
Ouch. 2 servings
That's
already.
3 servings.
Oof, 3 servings.
So that's about 3.5 servings here. So 3.5 servings of just the oats, and this is why there's no such thing as eyeballing. So if you want to calculate the macros here, so let's just pretend like there were 3 servings here just to make the math easier. So 150 calories per serving, 3 servings here, so that's 450 calories. When you look at the carbs, it's about 30 grams of carbs per serving. 30 times 3 is 90 grams of carbs. You get a good amount of fiber, and that's fine, and a good amount of protein. But again, having 450 calories and the majority of that coming from carbohydrates just in the oats is way too much for 1 serving.
That's a big issue, especially with a lot of people. I'm going to go ahead and bring this a little bit towards the camera so you can see it there. But there's really not that much oats in this bowl. And this is what most people do in the mornings, is they get their oatmeal, put it on with some milk, or however they want to prepare it, and this is what they're having. It's just completely packed with carbs. Now, 90 grams of carbs straight out in the morning, so that's pretty significant.
But how many people just have the plain oats? So many times people are going to put fruit.
That's
and
right.
What fruit do we often think of with oats? We think of bananas. So when you go to the grocery store and you're picking out a banana, do you pick this one or do you pick this one? Omar, which one do you pick? And he can't lie because he's got the big ones right there.
Bigger is better, I guess. Let's explain what...
So you could argue that the bigger banana has more nutrients, but who really cares? Again, nutrients does not necessarily equate to being healthy or equate to weight loss or 6-pack abs, because too much of a good thing is still a bad thing. This one banana is not just one banana, it's actually more like 2 bananas. So this small banana is closer to a serving of a banana. So when you actually measure this up here, your what you thought was 1 banana is actually more like 2 bananas. So realistically, if you want a healthy breakfast that's not only nutrient dense but also fits within your macros and is not too heavy on the carbohydrates, then you would have measured out 40 grams of the oats, which is 1 serving, and then you would take 1 of these bananas and mix it together. So just because something is nutrient dense doesn't mean it's going to help you reach your goals, and that's extremely important to remember.
And look how important portion control is, because at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, you have 90 grams of carbs here. So let's say if I were to grab that one entire banana and put it into the oatmeal, chop it up or however you do it, it just skyrockets the carbohydrate content of it. Plus, now you're adding a little bit more calories into the equation. So even though it's necessarily a healthy type meal, you're not really doing justice because it's so much. Portion control is key, and this is what people are doing on a day-to-day basis.
So a better option would be, so I'll demonstrate this here. So you have your bowl, so you would weigh out the 40 grams. So there's your 40 grams. And as you can see, so this is a true portion right here. This is what most people would do. And for the same, one would tell me that they just had one bowl. But this is really the correct serving here. So you have one serving, 40 grams. And then a great option is you add nuts. So the nuts will give it crunch, it will give it flavor. So you can add nuts, 100 calorie snack pack. You can also add cinnamon to kind of give it some more flavor. And here you get good fats, you get good protein, you get good carbs, and it's very, very low in sugar. The only sugar you're really getting is maybe 1 or 2 grams from the oats, if that. So actually 0 grams in here. So this is actually really a sugar-free breakfast.
And let me point something out, because I always find this pretty interesting. Look at the size of this pack. It's so small, right? It's probably about, maybe I'm feeling it here, about 8 almonds. I mean, it's basically less than a handful, about 8 almonds.
In here.
So we're going to go ahead and open it, and let's go ahead. That's barely anything.
So here's the serving. It's basically about 10 to 12 almonds. Not many people are gonna just take this and say, okay, that's it.
It's amazing, and there's 100 calories. So think about that. This little pack here is 100 calories of almonds. So the reality is, when I see people bring snacks to work, and they're going ahead and they bring almonds and they're just eating almonds and eating almonds. Yes, it's a healthy alternative, but the portion content of it is taking things out of scope, because they're not having 100 calories, I promise. It's more 400 or 500 calories. And if you're not doing activity and you're not burning them, where's that going to go? So that's the key, portion control. I mean, and Michelle brings in a great point.
All right, so the take-home points from today. Take-home point number 1, weigh and measure your food. There's no such thing as the eyeball test. It never works out. So if you want to be accurate in calculating your calories, you have to weigh or measure your food. Key point number 2 is portions matter. Too much of a good thing is still a bad thing. I tell people all the time, even if all you ate was lettuce and celery still have calories. And if you have 5,000 calories worth of lettuce, that is still 5,000 calories. Tip number 3 is, just because something has nutrients does not mean it is necessarily healthy or going to help you reach your goals, particularly with weight loss. So I tell people again all the time that dirt has nutrients, but I do not tell my patients to eat dirt. So you have to remember that portions are extremely important. You want to eat nutrient-dense foods, but it's not just about the nutrients.
Okay, so we have a lot of good takeaways from this segment today, and obviously we have validated that abs are made in the kitchen along with exercise. You got to have both. Okay, you have the exercise and you have nutrition. But as I said before, 25% exercise, 25% nutrition. You need both.
And where's the 50%?
It's the mindset. So I'm going to bring in the mindset hat. When I have this on, my mind right now is in cooking mode with nutrition. But mindset, 50% mindset, 25 exercise, 25 nutrition. Then you have the perfect recipe for wellness success. So it's not only about fitness, it's about overall health and overall wellness. Let's get to it, and I'm going to leave you with one thing that I've always said is get moving.